Hey guys, welcome back to another Pauper video. We are here doing our top 5. Let's get that in shot right there. Top 5 of Foundations. So just to clarify, this is the actual factual core set. I will be doing one for the Jumpstart Foundation. I just haven't had a chance to properly look through it. And I really wanted to make sure that they are separate, because they do obviously bring a different power level, but also different nuances to them and all that sort of stuff. And it also makes it clearer which ones are from which set, just for those that obviously might not know. They are slightly different. You can see the symbol. One is a star, and then the other one's like 2 cards sideways, and that's like the usual Jumpstart sort of thing. And that is Jumpstart Foundation, which has some other interesting cards. But before we dive right in, obviously don't forget to check out Manatraders in the description below. And also, if you do play Fortnite, I also play it, and I also have a creator code in the Fortnite item shop. So please check that out in the description below. That is code Teasdale in the item shop. If you want to support me in Fortnite, another game that I also do play. But anyways, moving on to this, we have 3 honourable mentions and then a top 5. The 3 honourable mentions are really honourable mentions just because they're interesting, not because I think they are particularly game-breaking, but I will most likely be trying them out at some point. So let's dive into the first one, the one that probably most people have seen and probably are excited for, because everyone loves a Slime Against Humanity sort of card. We have Heir Apparent. So this is basically the Relentless Rabbits, as people are calling it. So this is a 1 white 2/2 that whenever this creature enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white rabbit token equal to a number of these cards, Heir Apparent you control. And you can have as many numbers as you want in the deck. So basically you run like 23 and some amount of planes, and if that's all you need, go nuts. I do like this card for the fact that I think I am a big fan of Carrot Cake, because I do love a good cute white rabbit, and I think I will be playing this card. Obviously you can play this as a white weenie sort of Guardian's Pledge sort of strategy and just keep playing these. Let's see if it works. You obviously get access to Thraben Charm, which as we know is pretty good with wide board, which is creates. So this could be exciting, could be actually relatively good, who knows. Making a wide board is not nothing, so we'll see how fun that gets. The next one is more just a note, because I think it's semi-playable. We have a Big Fin Bouncer. This is a 4-mana war. So when it enters, it returns a creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand, as you can see there on the screen. But it is a Shark Pirate, and that is semi-relevant for being another pirate. So I don't think this card's great. I do think it's okay. Like, its stat line's fine. You could probably try this in some sort of blue-green Ponza style shell, just for that sort of tempo side of things. But ultimately, I don't think it'll get there, because why would you not run Writhing Chrysalis anyways? But I thought it was a semi-relevant creature type and also a mana war effect with a relevant body, and the art looks pretty cool. The final one is, speaking of red green ramp, is Beastkin Ranger. So this card is basically a Lawnmower Stalker that whenever another creature enters the battlefield, it gets +1/+0. And it has Trample though, which is very relevant. But also, the thing that I do like about this is it works really well with Repurposer, and it works really well with Writhing Chrysalis. Like, you could play this on 2, and then turn 3, play Writhing Chrysalis, and basically give it +3/+0, and swing in for 6 with Trample. Like, I don't think this will replace anything like Nyxborn Hydra or Jewel Thief or whatever, but there is a chance that this card is actually real, and, you know, we will see this card be tested, so I just thought I'd honourable mention that. But ultimately, I do not think it gets there. But yeah, interesting one nonetheless. Moving on now to the top 5. The top 5 is obviously my own opinions for the actual set. There is obviously the Foundations, which does have the power level is a bit different because they aren't standard legal. But here we are. So number 5 is Elementalist Adept. So this is a 2/1 with Flash, and it has Prowess. So if you've seen my videos on the blue-red sort of tempo deck with the Razzle Dazzler, I sort of feel like it could go in that shell. It helps with the 2 spells on the Dazzler. It also helps hold up counter magic, and then you can, if they don't do anything, you can flash it in sort of strategy. I do wish we had the, I think, is it Cutthroat? there's a brine something cutthroat or whatever the card's called, and it's like a 2/1 flash that gets bigger every time you cast a spell on your opponent's turn or something like that. That seems a lot better, but obviously we don't have that. It's sort of the same vein. You can then cast like Preordain in your turn, you know, remove a creature with a bolt or a bounce spell or whatever, and then just swing in. Sort of like Secret Away sort of strategy, but also keep them with. The flash side of things seems really good. And I will be trying this card out 100%. The next card is for more like a Kilm Fiend sort of deck, and it gives me sad joy that the more I see cards like Crackling Cyclops, the less likelihood of Nivix Cyclops getting played is getting less and less. Like, you need less reason to play blue the further on this goes. I ultimately think a card like this, you don't need to go more expensive with Kilm Fiend. You obviously have at least 3. You've got Kilm Fiend, you've got Festival Crasher, you've got the Kicker one that has blue in it that can bounce from them but gives +2. So you've also got the Burning Prophet 2. So you have an abundance of 2-drops. So going bigger doesn't really help you. So I ultimately don't think this will or would see play. But then there is a world, not at the moment because Galvblast is very highly played, that being 4 toughness is relevant because it avoids Bolt. But I just don't think that's there yet. Just because I think Galvblast is just at its all-time high. But it is a 3-mana 0/4 that obviously can kill, similar to Kilm Fiend because it gets +3/+0. So that is very relevant. That basically 3 spells, or Mutagenic Growth, Team of Battle Rage, plus another spell, or any pump spell, plus Team of Battle Rage, and another spell kills them. So that is quite relevant. I do think they likely do need another 1-drop though to obviously replace the very sad day that Monastery Swiftspear was banned. Very sad for everyone, I know. But I do think this card could see play, and definitely people will, and myself, will be trying this card out for sure. My next one is, which actually was a card that I actually thought was a common, which probably isn't a good thing on its power level. But the more I think about this card, the actual better I think it is, and that is Bushwack. So Bushwack was an uncommon in Brothers War, and it's a card that obviously really helps with consistency for splashing, anything like that. So you could play this in a mono green deck that's splashing black for Sadistically, or splashing red for Writhing Chrysalis, like a Stompy deck that's splashing red for Writhing Chrysalis or something. But you're also playing a creature heavy deck, and then if that is, you've got your consistency early, you can use it as a removal spell. Like, Sorcery Speed isn't the greatest for sure, as we all know. Like, everyone prefers an instant speed removal spell, but something like this, like Dual Dominance, and there's the other ones that Stompy run, all the names escape me now, where this seems like a much better option because of how versatile it is. Because obviously being able to fix your mana early is definitely pretty good. Secondly, a card that I'm personally excited for, which is a downshift, which I also didn't realise, is Pilfer. And Pilfer is a basically 2-mana it's a 1 on a black Distress, or a 2-mana Thoughtseizes, however you want to look at it. They basically 1 on a black, they reveal their hand, and you can choose any card from it and they discard that card. So Mesmeric Fiend's been picking up a lot lately, because it can basically take any card. Obviously, you can hit both Broodscale and Glee, which are all very relevant. Obviously, it's got the sacrifice bonus that you can exile it forever. But being able to hit any card is very relevant. Distress sees a very small amount of play at the moment, but it costs black. There are a lot of decks that function on 1 Contaminated Aquifer. They function off 1 Drossforge Bridge or whatever. Like, Pilfer is so much easier to cast, which then makes me think that this card will see probably quite a lot of sideboard play because of that. Anywhere that you need, like, anywhere you would think about playing Duress or Distress, like mainly Duress, you would consider this. This hitting all the creature count spells, Spell Stutter Sprite, etc. Taking anything from Walls combo. It can take anything from Glee. All very relevant things. Like, the fact that Duress hits only Glee and it sees play now, for, like, specifically for that, is, like, a bonus. But this, you can just play this and it takes either half. Like, you could play Duress. They don't have a Glee or whatever. You take a Deadly Dispute, if anything, and then they just rip the Glee, you're dead anyways. So this being able to take the Brood skill out of hand is very relevant. Or on the other side, if you are playing Glee, being able to hit spell stutter sprite is also relevant. Obviously, Duress only is protection in one way, like only against like the removal spells and the counter spells, but it doesn't hit spell stutter sprite. So this is also relevant on that side of things too. So yeah, that is my number 2. I am quite excited for this card. I do think this card's probably at least sideboard playable, or at least in there as close consideration for sure. My number 1 pick is probably no one surprised. It's probably one of the best commons in Foundation, to be honest, in my opinion. And that is Dwinnen's Elite. So this is a great downshift, obviously played in something like Modern Elves or even probably Pioneer Elves, I'm guessing. But this is a 2-mana 2/2, which is obviously a great stat line anyways. But then if you control another elf, create a 1/1 elf token. So the fact that it goes super wide for elves with only one guy is incredible. Like obviously it helps with Priest of Titania, helps with Timberwatch Elf, etc. Obviously it hasn't got the Heritage Druid go nuts, because obviously the curve of turn 1 Heritage Druid, turn 2 this is real, then tap them all to add 3 mana. Like that is very, very real for sure. But being able to utilize this, obviously go wider on less, is really big. And I wouldn't be surprised if that's in play. But I also wouldn't be surprised if there was something like, because Stompy can run a lot of elves, like Mono Green Stompy. You can run Nettle Sentinel, has not been out of the question. Quirion Ranger is obviously a must. You're getting into that sort of realms where even playing this in Stompy is real. Like, obviously we don't have the nuts of Burning Tree into that because Burning Tree is obviously a human. So yeah, I am excited for this card. I think this card's very good in elves. I think this card will see play. Yeah, I'm excited about this set, and this is obviously just one of the two sets. Let's hide this card. 2 sets that are getting released on November the 15th, I think it is. So both of these cards are all these cards will see play. I will cover another top 5 for Jumpstart. I do think that obviously the sets are a bit different, and the power levels are a bit different. That it makes me consider that I have to look at the other set in a lot more detail than this. These cards will likely be tested. I can't imagine them being massively played. Apart from the Elite, I do think the Elite will go in elves, and Pilfer is probably a sideboard slot. But other than that, these cards are just slight upgrades. But you wouldn't expect anything else from a standard set. So obviously then we'll look at Jumpstart and see how we get on. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys next time for more Pauper videos. And also do not forget to check out my Patreon, where I post brews there fairly regularly, at least twice a week. Obviously if you can look at the tier list and we can talk. All that is brews and exciting stuff. This is my top 5, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.